The overthinker's paralysis. We've all met this person. Probably we've been this person at some point. You know the type. They can calculate the trajectory of a rocket ship in their head, but they can't decide which coffee shop to go to because they're weighing the pros and cons of the parking situation. First up, we have the overthinker. On your screen, you're seeing a guy sitting in a minimalist apartment. It's dead silent. He's staring at a whiteboard covered in mind maps, arrows, and question marks, all connected to a single, simple business idea. He's not executing, he's optimizing. He's waiting for the perfect time, which, spoiler alert, never comes. While he's calculating the statistical probability of failure, someone less intelligent but more action-oriented just passed him on the highway to success. Smart people often believe that thinking is doing, but the market pays for execution, not contemplation. That perfect plan is worthless if it stays on the whiteboard. The fear of the fall. Next, let's talk about the fear of the fall. Imagine you're holding a crystal glass in a room full of porcelain. You're terrified of dropping it, so you just hold it. You don't move. Smart people see the risk of failure, the financial loss, the public embarrassment, the bruised ego in high definition. It looks like a cliff. The visual here is a chess game where a grandmaster sees a move that could lead to checkmate in 10 steps. But he also sees the 3 potential counters that could get his queen taken. So, he just plays it safe and moves a pawn. He'd rather maintain his potential than risk losing his title. They stay poor not because they can't make money, but because they can't afford to lose respect. The fear of being seen as foolish is a golden cage. They protect their status by not playing the game at all. But here's the kicker. Being broke is just a status update. Being poor is a mindset. They're paralyzed by the what-if of losing, ignoring the what-if of winning. The arrogance of logic. Now, here's where it gets spicy. The arrogance of logic. We're looking at a montage of people in suits pitching ideas in a boardroom. Suddenly, a brilliant guy in a hoodie, our protagonist, raises his hand. He debunks the entire strategy with cold, hard facts. He's right. He's undeniably analytically correct. But nobody wants to follow him. You see, smart people often think the market is a rational system. It's not. It's a chaotic mess of human emotion. They convince themselves that they can wait for the bubble to burst, or for people to come to their senses. The visual is a guy standing on the sidewalk with an umbrella in a thunderstorm, lecturing everyone on why the rain is actually just water vapor. While he's right, he's getting wet. He looks down on hustle culture and sales tactics, viewing them as beneath his intelligence. But wealth is often just the transfer of energy and attention. If you refuse to play the psychological game, to sell, to persuade, to hype, you're effectively saying you'd rather be right than rich, and the market agrees with you. The pleasure of the problem. We're moving on to the pleasure of the problem. Our next character is the fixer. The visual shifts to a messy desk with blueprints and code. He's solving a complex coding bug for a client at 2 a.m., not because he needs the money, but because the bug insults his intelligence. Smart people confuse being useful with being prosperous. They are addicted to the dopamine hit of the eureka moment. The harder the problem, the better they feel. So, they naturally gravitate towards complex, low-margin problems instead of simple, high-margin solutions. Think about it. The guy who invents a slightly better way to save a company 2% on paperclips is smart. The guy who sells a water bottle for $10 that has a motivational quote on it is simple. But who's buying a boat? Wealth usually lies in simplicity and scale. Smart people want to prove they are the smartest person in the room. Rich people want to be the wealthiest. They solve puzzles for applause. The rich solve problems for profit. It's a tragedy of misplaced priorities. The lone genius syndrome. This is a big one. The lone genius syndrome. Look at the screen. You see a lone figure in a dark room, illuminated only by a monitor. He's got a "No Gurus" and "Solo Polyglot" sticker on his laptop. He hates meetings. He hates networking. He hates small talk. He believes that if he is smart enough, he won't need anyone. He will build the perfect product and the world will beat a path to his door. This is a beautiful, romantic lie. Wealth is a team sport. The visual here is a group of people on a yacht. Not one of them is the smartest, but they are connected. Meanwhile, our genius is building a better mousetrap in his basement, but he forgot to invite the people who own the cats. He undervalues soft skills. He sees delegation as a weakness. He feels like asking for help is admitting defeat. But you can't scale a solo act. You are limited by your own 24 hours. To get rich, you need leverage, people, code, and capital. And to get people, you need to be likable, not just intelligent. The self-sabotage of sufficiency. And finally, the self-sabotage of sufficiency. The visual shows a scroll of numbers on a screen, and then it cuts to a man looking at his bank balance. He does the math. He realizes he can pay his bills for the next 6 months. He relaxes. He stops. This is the most dangerous reason of all. Smart people are generally good at solving immediate problems. So, when they hit a certain level of comfort, say enough to buy food and not get evicted, their brain treats that as mission accomplished. The threat is neutralized. The pressure is gone. Without that pressure, they lose their grit. They start researching philosophy or learning to play the violin. The visual shifts to a Ferrari driving down the highway. The owner of that car? He's probably terrified of losing it. That fear drives him.
Smart people often don't have that survival fear because they can rationalize their way into a comfortable, mediocre job that pays the bills. They are satisfied with enough. But here's the reality. If you aren't growing, you are dying. The comfort zone is a beautiful prison, and you just lock the door from the inside. So, if you look at your screen, there they are. The overthinker, the fearful, the arrogant, the problem solver, the lone wolf, and the sufficient. Intelligence is a powerful tool, but it's also a powerful trap. The system doesn't reward smartness. It rewards action, connection, and courage. The only question is, are you going to outsmart yourself? If this hit home, hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.